Someone younger was never an accident in your life. And if you are hearing this right now, it is not random either, because psychology suggests that certain messages reach us only when our mind is ready to receive them. And when a younger person enters your world and creates confusion, emotion, attachment, or inspiration, it is usually because your subconscious is responding to something deeper than age or circumstance. Most people assume that younger individuals appear simply due to timing, attraction, or coincidence. But the human mind does not operate on surface logic alone. It operates on mirrors and meaning. And a younger person often reflects the version of you that once existed before fear, responsibility, disappointment, or pressure slowly reshaped your personality. This is why their presence feels powerful, uncomfortable, or strangely meaningful, because they activate parts of you that you buried over time. Psychology explains that the brain is drawn to what it feels it has lost, and youth represents freedom, curiosity, emotional honesty, and potential, qualities that many adults suppress to survive. So when someone younger brings those qualities close to you again, your mind reacts strongly, sometimes with protectiveness, sometimes with attraction, sometimes with irritation, and sometimes with deep emotional attachment. This reaction is not about them alone. It is about you confronting a forgotten part of yourself. And here is where most people misunderstand the situation and either run away or over-attach. But if you pause and observe carefully, you will notice that this younger person challenges your patterns. They question your beliefs without even trying. They make you rethink decisions you once accepted as final, and they often trigger emotions you thought you had outgrown, which is a clear psychological sign of internal transformation. Because growth does not come quietly, it comes through disruption, and the subconscious uses people as messengers when logic fails. This is why such connections feel intense, even when they are short-lived, because the purpose is not permanence, the purpose is awakening. And if you are still watching this, it means some part of you already recognizes this truth, even if your conscious mind resists it. Psychology also highlights that when we interact with younger individuals, our brain shifts into a reflective state where we evaluate our life choices, unmet desires, and emotional compromises. And this evaluation can feel uncomfortable or inspiring depending on how honest we are with ourselves. Many people mistake this feeling for love, regret, or destiny, but in reality it is awareness, and awareness is the first step toward change. The younger person becomes a psychological mirror showing you what you avoided becoming or what you forgot you could still be, and this is why their words linger in your mind, their reactions feel meaningful, and their presence leaves a lasting impression even after they leave your life. Because the lesson remains even when the messenger goes. And somewhere in the middle of this realization, you might feel a strange pause, like something inside you is asking you to slow down and listen more closely. Because this moment is not meant to be rushed or ignored, it is meant to be understood. Psychology says that ignoring such signals often leads to repeated patterns, while understanding them leads to emotional maturity. And this is where your power returns, when you stop asking why they appeared and start asking what they activated within you, because the real transformation happens internally, not externally. And once this internal shift begins, you will notice changes in how you think, what you tolerate, and what you desire. You may feel drawn toward growth, honesty, or simplicity, or you may feel the urge to release outdated roles and expectations. All of this is part of the same psychological process. The younger person simply served as the trigger, not the destination. And if this message resonates with you, it is because your mind is already transitioning into a new phase of awareness. So before this video ends, take a moment to reflect on who that younger person was in your life and what changed inside you after they appeared. And if this insight connected with you on a deeper level, make sure to subscribe for more psychology-based insights like this, and comment the word awaken below, so I know you understood the message and your mind is ready for what comes next. Many viewers overlook this part, but the timing of such encounters matters just as much as the person themselves, because psychology states that the subconscious releases symbols only when emotional capacity is available, which means this connection appeared when you were strong enough to question yourself but open enough to change. and that balance is rare, this is also why not everyone experiences this phenomenon in the same way. Some feel inspired, some feel unsettled, and some feel resistant. Yet all reactions point toward internal movement, and when internal movement begins, external life soon follows, even if slowly, even if subtly, and you may notice that after this encounter your priorities shift, your tolerance for superficial conversations decreases, and your desire for authenticity increases. These are not coincidences. They are psychological after-effects of awakening. Because once the mind recognizes truth, it struggles to return to ignorance. And this can feel lonely at first, but it is also empowering because clarity always precedes confidence. Another important psychological aspect is projection, where we unconsciously assign meaning to others based on our unmet emotional needs. And younger individuals often become the canvas for these projections because they represent possibility rather than limitation. However, the true lesson emerges when you reclaim those projected qualities and integrate them into your own life instead of chasing them externally. And this is the moment growth stabilizes, when admiration turns into self-respect and curiosity turns into purpose. And if you reflect honestly, you will see that the younger person did not take anything from you. They returned something to you, something you forgot belonged to you in the first place. And that realization can change how you view relationships forever, because you stop expecting others to complete you and start allowing them to reveal you. Psychology emphasizes that revelation is more powerful than attachment, because attachment binds you to outcomes, while revelation frees you through understanding. And this freedom alters how you respond to future connections. You become less reactive and more observant, less fearful and more intentional. And that is the true gift hidden within this experience, a mental upgrade disguised as emotional confusion. And as this understanding settles in, you may feel a calm determination replacing the earlier intensity, which is a sign that integration has begun. And integration means the lesson has been received. So if this message helped you see your experience differently, remember that awareness grows when shared, and your reflection might help someone else recognize their own pattern. So comment your thoughts below and stay connected for deeper insights that guide the mind forward. This stage often brings subtle behavioral changes that you might not immediately notice, such as valuing silence more than noise, depth more than validation, and direction more than approval. And psychology confirms that these shifts indicate a reorganization of internal values, which usually happens after a meaningful psychological trigger. And once values realign, decisions become clearer, boundaries stronger, and self-trust deeper. This is why looking back you may realize that the younger person never asked you to change, yet everything changed anyway, because true influence operates quietly, without force, and that is the most effective kind. And while the world may frame such connections as unusual or temporary, your mind recognizes them as necessary because necessity is defined not by duration but by impact, and impact reshapes identity, and identity shapes destiny. So instead of questioning the logic of the encounter, honor the transformation it initiated, because growth rarely announces itself. It arrives disguised as confusion, emotion, or unexpected connection, and leaves behind clarity, strength, and renewed self-awareness, which is ultimately what the subconscious was seeking all along. Stay aware of these signs, because your mind evolves through recognition, not resistance, and every meaningful shift begins with understanding what once confused you. So if this perspective aligned with your experience, like the video, share it with someone who needs clarity, and remain present for what unfolds next. Growth starts when awareness replaces emotional confusion. As this awareness settles in, you may notice how your reactions begin to change without effort. Because psychology shows that once a lesson is understood, the emotional weight behind it fades naturally. And this is where inner stability is formed. You stop chasing validation and start trusting your own perception, which brings a calm confidence that feels new but real. Encounters like these are not meant to last forever. They are meant to mark a transition from unconscious patterns to conscious choices. And when that shift happens, your priorities quietly realign, you tolerate less confusion, seek more meaning, and value clarity over intensity. This phase is called integration, where insight turns into behavior and growth becomes part of your identity. And even if that younger person is no longer present, their impact remains, because their role was never attachment, it was awakening. And comment clear if this understanding resonated, because awareness strengthens when it is acknowledged.